Hi everyone, I'm Mary, and today I will be presenting a poem by William Shakespeare called "The Time of Year Thou Mayest in Me Behold." I chose this poem because I think that life and death are something that we all deal with in life. Death especially, from all ages. We've all lost someone, at a young age that was close to us, and then throughout life we continue to lose those who are close to us. And death is a really complex issue. It's inevitable, and we all know that someday that's where we will end up, but yet we still fear it, and it's still so heavy and hard to talk about. And I think that Shakespeare does a great job at breaking it down in a way that you can really visualize life and the end of it and the effects it has on everyone involved. So let's get started. I just wanted to read the poem out loud to begin with. Sonnet 73, That time of year thou mayest in me behold. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few do hang, upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. So, the overview, obviously the speaker of this poem he's speaking about his life coming to an end. He's speaking to a loved one. He is explaining that his journey on earth is coming to an end in the near future, and comparing it to natural aspects of life, to pieces of nature. He talks of how love grows stronger over time, and it grows stronger when you know you're going to lose someone. And at the end of the poem, really the speaker is giving the loved one that he is speaking to permission to move on in life. And I will break down the poem line by line and explain how I got to that conclusion. First, some of the tones of the poem. It's very solemn. It's very serious and sincere, melancholy. There is a feeling of sadness there, helplessness, vulnerability, and also I thought appreciation. The speaker seems to be grateful for his long life, and maybe not ready for it to come to an end, but grateful that he made it that far. Some of the themes. Life is more valuable the older you become, and it should be valued more the older one gets. The older you get, the more knowledge you have to share with everyone, the more you appreciate the beauty in the world, and the more you can teach others around you to appreciate all the little things. So I definitely think that as you get older, life does become more valuable. Also, getting older is a beautiful and natural experience that we all experience. There's no avoiding it. Love grows stronger with time and adversity. I think this is definitely true. It's kind of hard to say that love grows stronger when it comes to your family. Like I picture my dad. I love him with all my heart, but I don't know that my love grows stronger over time. Maybe if I was faced with his death, I might feel differently. But as far as my husband, I think that I definitely grow stronger in love with him every day. The more I get to know him, and the more we discover each other's passions in life, I think that our love definitely grows stronger, and our bond grows stronger, and with adversity as well. Any challenge that we meet and succeed at together, it just helps us grow stronger. So I definitely agree with that. And that dying should not be feared. This one is hard. This one is hard to comprehend because death is it's a scary thing. Your life comes to an end, and you leave everyone behind. You take nothing with you when you go. So everything you leave behind, which is, who you have been, what you have contributed to the world, the things that you have taught your children and your family about being a good person, that's what you leave behind. So if you live a good life and you put a lot of effort into being a good person and preparing for death in reality, then you shouldn't fear death. You should be able to prepare for it, and you should be able to help your family prepare for it as well. Of course, that's not in all cases, but generally. So I'll just break down the first quatrain the way that I did, just line by line. So that time of year thou mayest to me behold, there is a time of year that I remind you of, when yellow leaves or none or few do hang. So this is in late autumn when the leaves are falling, after the warm summer has gone and the cold winter is soon to be had. Upon those boughs which shake against the cold, meaning the speaker's body is frail and shaking as the cold winter is taking over, meaning, he's getting older and can't stand against the cold, maybe like he used to in his younger days. Bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. The birds have all gone with the warm weather, and similar to the speaker's youth, they have gone away. The second quatrain. In me thou seest the twilight of such a day. You can see that my life is coming to a close. It's the twilight of the day. It's the end of the day at the sunset. As after sunset fadeth in the west, so after I fade away, as naturally and inevitably as the sunset, which by and by black night doth take away, death is slowly taking the speaker away, slowly taking over everything, just like night envelopes the day and the dark takes over everything. That's the same here, the night, the death slowly taking over everything in his life. Death's second self that seals up death's second self that seals up all in rest. The night is like death, it consumes all. It will seal up. Death is sealing up his life the way that the sunset seals up the day and brings it to an end, the way that a coffin is sealed at the end of someone's life. Just really accentuates the fact that his life is coming to an end. The third, in me thou seest the glowing of such fire. You see little of my youthful self left. You see the end nearing. So now he is comparing his life to the glow of a fire that has once was burning bright. Now it has diminished into a glow. The ashes, that on ashes of youth doth lie. Our lives are built on our youth and all the memories that are made. And like a fire, similar to a fire, all those memories and all the time that we spend growing old, it builds up and it creates what we are in the end, kind of like the ashes around the edges of a fire. As a fire burns, the ashes build more and more, and eventually it's mostly ash. It's mostly remnants of what was. Let's see, as the deathbed whereon it must expire. So soon I will pass, and all that will be left is a pile of ash, or the memories that were, and consumed with that which it was nourished by. So this fire, the fire of life, it's nourished by time. It's nourished, by the memories that you make. It's that time, and just the way that time gives you life, that same fire, that same fuel will be taken away. So yes, And the fourth. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. So this, you seeing me grow old this way and being aware of the limited time that we have together can only make our love grow stronger, can only make you love me more, because you know that you won't have me forever. The love that well which thou must leave ere long. I feel like I missed. So, some important notes I had. There were 3 metaphors. The speaker compares his life to the season of autumn, the leaves falling away, and the trees becoming bare in the winter cold. He compared his life to the nighttime. He compared himself to dusk, and that night is taking over like death. Another metaphor was the fire. He compared his life to the diminishing fire. 3 metaphors there. There were several allusions to occurrences in nature, which to me I felt like it was important because death is a very natural part of life. And sometimes that's hard to accept, but it's true. It's very natural, and so it only makes sense to compare it to other natural aspects of life. And that is my presentation for William Shakespeare. I hope that everyone enjoyed it. I really did. And I wish everyone good luck with the class.